is talking about what the employer has payroll taxes as well. Okay. The employee has taxes withheld, but payroll tax expense results from 3 taxes that the government agencies levy on employers. So if you employ people, the government's going to tax you as well. FICA taxes, as we know, are taken out of the employee's paycheck, but the employer has to pay them as well, basically matching what the employees had taken out. So you take all of those percentages and double them, basically on what the employer owes. So in other words, we just got done calculating this, 7.65% is owed based on what the gross pay is. Well, actually double it, because the federal government's going to say, we're going to charge you the same thing as the employer. They also have to pay federal, specifically, unemployment taxes. FUTA, Federal Unemployment Taxes, I would assume, Act, is 6.2% on the first $7,000 of wages per employee. Think about what that means. You have an employee, the first $7,000 that they're going to make, you as the employer, that's why I have ER highlighted here, are going to pay 6.2% to the Federal Unemployment Agency. Because when people can't work, guess what? They draw unemployment. That money just doesn't appear out of nowhere. And so employers are helping fund that federal unemployment. Here's the nice part about FUTA, or the Federal Unemployment Tax, Act. Employers who also pay the state unemployment tax, they're going to cut them a deal. Basically, if you are paying your state unemployment tax in a timely manner, they're going to offset it up to 5.4%, because guess what? That's the state rate. Therefore, the net is usually 0.8%, because if I take 6.2% minus the up to 5.4% state rate, so here's federal, here's state, so they're basically, meaning the federal government, are saying, hey, if you're paying your state as well, let's leave the money there, resulting in you only owing 0.8% instead. Finally, state, we just realized that FUTA is going to cut us a deal if we, the employer, are paying SUTA, or the state unemployment tax, is usually 5.4% again on that first $7,000 that an employee earns. After that, they quit paying into those agencies, both the federal and state unemployment. I've got a helpful hint here, actually the book does. Both the employer and employee pay FICA, so that's doubled. Federal unemployment, or FUTA, and in most states, SUTA, or state unemployment taxes, are borne entirely by the employer. It's just part of business that you fund state and federal unemployment pots of money. So if people become unemployed, that's where they draw unemployment from. But it's only taxed up to your first $7,000 worth of earnings. So think about that, Willie's workers. Do they employ a lot of people there? A lot of part-time people that maybe don't even make $7,000 in a year? All of those people are contributing. The people aren't, but the employer is paying for those federal and state unemployment pots of money. I want to talk about the helpful hint again, because this is me. FICA is paid by both the employee and the employer. FICA's doubled. Okay, so the employees contribute that, the employers match. And both of those become FICA payable. Up to $110,100, right? Remember that number? FUTA and SUTA are the employer only. Remember, it is all dealing with unemployment. FUTA is federal, SUTA is state. Typically, your SUTA rate is 5.4%. You'll typically see 0.8% for FUTA because FUTA is saying, hey, we're glad you're contributing to your state unemployment. We're going to cut you a big deal if you can pay them timely. We're going to actually reduce our rate by your state rate. Here's an example before the bell rings. Academy records the payroll tax expense associated with January 14th, so basically the ER, the employer taxes. We've already talked about the employee payables. Now here are the employer payables. It's based on the total gross amount, and I don't remember what that was. It's going to show us. There you go. Here's where the numbers are coming from. This was the total gross pay times 7.65%. Remember, the employees all have already had that taken out, so that's a payable already. We're just doing it again. It matches whatever we took out from the employees. So this is an EE plus ER are paying 7.65%. So we owe FICA that again. We already had that payable before when we were talking about EEs or the employees. Now we're talking employers. Okay, we also have state unemployment taxes payable. I'm okay with that being listed as SUTA payable. Where did that come from? Well, again, taking our gross pay times the SUTA rate of 5.4%, we owe the state unemployment taxing authority $929.34. You're going to see FUTA be a lot smaller. Remember, instead of writing out federal unemployment taxes, I'm okay with FUTA. Why are they so much smaller? Why do we owe the federal government so much less? Why is the federal government giving us a good deal? Who are we already paying? The state. So 6.2 minus whatever the state rate is, assume for this book, we're running 5.4. Again, these are all the employer payroll taxes. This is maybe something you didn't know happened. You as the employee are grumbling because your paycheck's already small enough. But little did you probably know the employer has to pay into these agencies as well. Up to how much? The first $7,000 for each employee. We will do this brief exercise tomorrow. We are out of time. We'll roll right into problem A tomorrow as well. Not that this was hard, but do you see why I wanted to be here for this? Because it's weird. I could have done it on the recording, but I like seeing your body language instead. So thank you.